Denny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
Your dreams have now been fulfilled. You're rocking with the best. Your boys, Randy J. Cruz, Denny Blanco, the Retro Room, and we have a special guest in the building. Who's that, Randy?
Yes, sir. Before we get to our special guest, you can find Denny Blanco on both IG and Twitter at, once again, Sir Denny Blanco. You can find me on IG and Twitter, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on ballislife.com, as well as youtube.com/ballislife podcast. Network in the building for Retro Room All-Time Fives Part 3. My man Chris Henderson, hailing from Dallas, Texas. You can find him on Twitter at C_Hendo from chendo.com. Chris, my man, how you doing?
Man, it's good to be back, man. I think it's been about a year, at least almost a year and a half, man, since I've been in the Retro Room, man. It's dope to see my guy Denny out there doing his thing, bringing on that Brooklyn Nets love. Y'all see Randy J. Cruz out there doing his thing on the street ball circuit, man. I've been watching, man. Y'all been out there doing some good stuff, man. But I'm happy to be today because, yeah, it's gonna be spicy. I see where we're leading to today.
I guess I speak on behalf of myself and Denny, man. We love you, man. We see what you've been doing in the social media world. Keep doing what you're doing. I see the interviews with Draymond, Kevin Durant, going viral. Keep doing what you're doing. And a very interesting Mavericks season. I know that's a different show for a different day, but looking forward to see how they end up because me and Dennis, we had Luka to be the MVP, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think this. I'm not gonna be doing the Luka MVP because I think that's the curse. Because like, it's just weird because like when you don't, I'm not gonna pick him to be in because I've done this for 3 years now, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. I got a little thing going on, a little scoring champ bet with like 10 other people. We all pick like one person, and somehow, luckily, they were just happy to give me Luka. And I was like, he may end up with the scoring title. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, that's another day. Definitely another day on that.
Another day, another conversation.
But Luka may be mentioned today, though.
And you're right. A different show for a different day, but this show particularly, this is part 3 of our Retro Room All-Time 5 series. For those who don't know, part 1 was Atlanta, Boston, and Brooklyn/New Jersey. And then part 2, we had Charlotte, Chicago, and the Cavaliers. So very interesting selections that me and Dennis made. Some on social media disagreed, some agreed. They put their 2 cents into what they would pick, and I think there's no right or wrong answer. It is really up to you who you're a fan of, and anybody who's put on that uniform for that particular team. If you are a fan, you're gonna pick it. So. Today, part 3, we have the Dallas Mavericks, we have the Denver Nuggets, and Detroit Pistons. So 3 teams that can lean either way. You might not pick the ultimate superstar. You might pick the role player, the non-all-star,
the bench player.
Here. So I want to make it clear. It's our all-time 5s, not the definitive all-time 5. So, you know, who you're a fan of, who you like, who you watch growing up, all that shit. Let's have some fun. So since you are in Dallas, Mr. Hendo, that's why we have you here. Let's get started, my man. Your all-time 5 from the Dallas Mavericks. You're first.
Oh, man. So for me, obviously, I'm going to go positionless, and we know the first guy that has to be taken off. He's going to be in the 5. That's Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, I would put him as a stretch 5 on his team. And I know I'm going to throw a slight at James Donaldson and Tyson Chandler, especially Tyson Chandler, who helped his team win a title in 2011. And James Donaldson, who's a part of those 80s Mavericks teams that ended up going to the Western Conference Finals one time and took the Lakers to 7, that Showtime Lakers team. But Dirk is definitely in the 5. Obviously, I got to go ahead and put Luka in there, man. I just think that when we've seen in 5 years or 4 years in this guy, I don't know if anybody from the Mavericks history has had a 4-year run of like what he's done individually as a player. I mean, All NBA first team several times, Rookie of the Year. Dirk wasn't Rookie of the Year, right? I think Jason Kidd was a co-Rookie of the Year with Grant Hill, which leads me to Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd is well deserving of this. Just when he came here in '94, man, that was huge, right? It was him and Grant Hill, and I remember everybody was just hyped up for it. It was an unfortunate circumstance, a lot of rumors that we've heard about with those guys, with the three J's, but
Yep.
definitely Jason Kidd. So I got Dirk, Luka, Jason Kidd, Rolando Blackman. Rolando Blackman, I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe the first. I want to say he may have been the first Maverick to have his jersey retired in the Raptors. Rolando's just he's still kicking at the AAC every night. He works for the team. Definitely a legend. I'm pretty sure you guys up there in the East Coast got a chance to watch him with the Knicks.
He was solid.
So he came in and did his thing up there, man. So shout out to Rolando Blackman. So that's Dirk, Luka, Kidd, Rolando Blackman, and my fifth.
The tricky part.
Well, so the thing is this. Obviously, Michael Finley would definitely deserve some love. Steve Nash, who ended up being a two-time MVP. If I'm basing off of what they did in Dallas and just keeping it off of that, because if I went that route, Steve Nash would have made the list, right? Because he's a two-time MVP. I'm going to go Mark Aguirre.
Okay.
Mark Aguirre, at one point in time for the Dallas Mavericks was averaging 28 a game.
Scoring machine.
Yeah, we talking about those Western Conference Finals contending teams that took the Lakers to 7 games. That was a great Mavericks team. I mean, you talk about Sam Perkins, James Donaldson, the aforementioned Rolando Blackman, Derek Harper, who I probably should have put on this list before Jason Kidd. Don't get killed for that. Don't get killed for that. Another guy who got his jersey retired not too long ago, Jason Terry, who was on those 2000 teams, could have been on this team as well. But I wanted to be fair to the OGs as well. And I was a young kid when they were doing that, but
right.
I gotta respect games. So I'm gonna go with Dirk, Luka, Jason Kidd, Mark Aguirre, and Rolando Blackman. I mean, it's gonna be a small five, but man, my thing is like it's hard for me. Like the Mavs are so hard. They got a lot of guards. They got a lot of like threes and guards. They don't really have outside of like Dirk. I mean, James Donaldson, he was great for what he did. He did. I mean, hell, the way it was working prior to him not being healthy all the time, KP could have made it eventually, right? But
right,
they didn't. They don't have a definitive guy at the 5. They just had a bunch of. I mean, I could put Mashburn, Jim Jackson. The list goes on, the guys, but I like that right there.
Again, recap: Dirk, Luka, J. Kidd, Blackman, Aguirre, for Hendo, Denny Blanco. Dallas Mavericks.
That list was good. The list was good, but for time constraints, I'm going to get straight to the butter like I normally do. Jason Terry.
Okay.
Jason Kidd. It's my 1 and 2.
You got 2 J's.
I got 2 J's. I got Jamal Mashburn at my 3. I got, you know what? Let me backtrack. I got Maul at my 4. I'm putting Luka at the 3. And I'm putting Dirk at the 5. God bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Beat that Dallas team. I triple dare you.
So you got Dirk, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, Monster Mash, and Luka.
Monster Mash, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Jamal Mashburn on the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, I don't even, it would be like, so imagine Zion Williamson's body, right? Imagine Zion Williams' body, but imagine Zion with a handle, like, I don't know, like Steph's.
Yeah.
And actually had a mid-range game like D-Wade. That's a problem.
Also, there's some New York love here for that. That's New York love.
I mean, I'm not.
He's a New York guy, right? He's a New York guy. Mashburn is a New York guy, right?
Jamal Mashburn is a New York guy. The guy was incredible. One of those guys I talk to Randy all the time about. I wish he was healthier, basketball wise. For a longer career because he was a problem. I know, Randy. I know. I do it to you all the time.
No, because I think me and you're going to be similar, except for one.
All right, who's the one off?
I think we are in concert with Dirk, Luca, J Kid, and Monster Mash.
We're in concert. Yeah.
We're in concert. We're in.
Who we at? Yeah. Who we missing? Who's off? Who's your off guy? Who you taking off my list? Luca?
No. I mean, Jay Terry's coming off. I think I'm gonna have to fuck with Michael Finley.
Yeah.
Because Michael Finley in that era of 01, 2, 3, 4, 5, like very underrated. He made an all-star team twice, along with Dirk and Nash.
Yes.
See, I don't put Nash because Nash was more Nash in Phoenix when he left the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I'll take J Kidd because he won the world title back in 2011. But I love J Kidd back in 94 with Jim Jackson and Mashburn. Dirk is without question, Luka without question. So I think Michael Finley, just to give his flowers, and like my man averaged 20 points a game quite a few times.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? When Dirk and Nash was off, it was Michael Finley. So that was like a very early big three of Dirk, Finley, and Nash. They just kept running into Sacramento and all the time in the playoffs and couldn't get over that hump. But I'm gonna give my love and respect to Michael Finley. So I got Dirk, Luka, J Kidd, Monster Mash, and Michael Finley for the Mavericks. Hendo, give me an honorable mention.
I would go Jason Terry for me because I mean the Jet, you know, it is what it is. What he did for that championship team, just him having to sacrifice to a little bit. Definitely going Jason Terry for sure.
Denny Blanco.
I got my man Mike Finley. Honorable mention. He was great in NBA 2K. On Dreamcast. The man's was a problem with Durkee and Steve Nash. Ooh, it was a problem, boy. It was a problem. Yep.
They don't know. I might go JJ Barea.
Hey man, you wear a JJ Barea jersey around here these days, man. That's considered royalty. That guy's a legend, man, in Dallas lore, man. So
JJ, if it wasn't for JJ Barea, there'd be no Jalen Brunson.
In
Dallas.
In Dallas.
For JJ Barea, there'd be no Jalen Brunson in
I like that.
Dallas. Obviously, he got that check and then bounced off to New York. So if Barea didn't have that ability to flourish and actually be good, you know, Cuban wouldn't believe in a short guard as much as Barea gave it to him. He was like, "Oh no, this guy playoffs, championships. Okay, we'll believe in short guards now."
You know who? Before we go on, my honorable mention will be a guy I think a lot of people forgot about. Made an all-star team. It's recent. Josh Howard. I love Josh Howard.
Yeah.
I like Josh Howard.
Josh Howard, that multiple category guy, score, rebound, pass, assist, block, threes. It's like, where do you find this guy? And right lap, Josh Howard comes into play.
Yeah, man, he's a coach right now too out there in North Texas, man.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Josh Howard, key part of that team that unfortunately didn't win the championship in 06, but he was the best player on that team by far. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Hendo, your coach for the Mavericks.
Man, so I mean, it's kind of obvious it's going to be Rick Carlisle. Much love and respect to Dick Motta, who was a part of those '80s Mavs teams. I think he may be the second all-time on the winning list for the Mavs, but it's Rick Carlisle. I mean, you got to go with the guy that brought you the championship. I know it probably ended a little differently than what a lot of people wanted, but Rick Carlisle's a genius, so I'm going Rick.
All right, Denny Blanco.
Shout out to Rick Carlisle, who literally said, "Oh, y'all, this is what y'all doing." I'm out of here. I'm going to give a shout out to Don Nelson. Mr. Nelson, a lot of people look to Mike D'Antoni as the innovator of this small ball that you're looking at now. But those that know, if you know, you know. Those that know, do your research. Don Nelson started that early.
Yeah.
Very early.
Early.
The Warriors, right?
Warriors.
Milwaukee, man. Like when he had with the Marquise Johnson team, man. Like they were long like that.
His point was, I mean, we're all going big. at this point, I'll alter it going small, and we'll see what we can do with the extra possessions and extra threes. And so I'll go with Don Nelson. What about you, Rand?
I guess I'll keep the trend of us picking a different coach. Hendo already got Carlisle. You got Don Nelson. I might go with Avery Johnson as a coach.
Ooh.
Avery was there, and he helped them out a bit too. Yes,
Got
he
him,
was.
got him to the finals. Got him to the finals.
Yep, absolutely. Shout out to Avery.
I'll
John.
go with the little general.
Yeah,
the little
the
general
general.
Avery. All right, since I went last with Dallas, I'll go first with Denver, and then we go backwards. Denver. Carmelo,
Yes.
Mutombo, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf,
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm stuck. Denver Nuggets. Oh my God.
I'll throw some names out for you, help you out.
Denver
You
Nuggets.
got Allen Iverson. You got Chauncey Billups. You have
Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English.
You had Kenyon Martin. You had Nene.
You got the 2-time MVP right now, Jokic.
You got Jokic on the
Jokic is on the roster.
So you're gonna have Mutombo and Jokic. Woo!
That's right. Jokic, Mutombo, Mahmoud, Carmelo.
You're missing. You have a lot of players to pick from too, like a lot of players from Denver.
Yeah.
Damn it, yo.
You got a lot of Kiki Vandeweghe.
Because you know what,
Alex English, man. You got
Alex English.
English.
The all-time leading scorer in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
That's why we do these shows.
Because you know why, Hendo? The thing is, we try to bridge the gap of like
I got you.
The 80s. Remember who's 90s, 2000. Dennis mentioned 5 guys in the powder blue era of Carmelo. I'm like, all right, there's got to be somebody else. Like, I love Robert Pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love even Igu was there. You see, he mentioned AI, Billups, Kenyon, Camby, and it's like, all right, who was the era after when Carmelo left? So I'm trying to remember all these guys, even Jalen Rose, Denver Nuggets. Like, there's so many people I can mention. But before I mention that 5th name, I want to be like, make sure I really went through everything. But if Alex English is the guy who averaged 20, 25, 30 a game, there's no wrong answer. But that 5 is crazy. English, Melo, Mahmoud, Mutombo, and Joker.
It's about the players that made a mark in that said jersey.
It's
specific. Like you could literally.
But remember,
LeBron,
it's my.
Yeah, 100% yours, 100%. But at the same time, too, obviously LeBron in each jersey a story can be had. Obviously, a story can be had. So you got the last player. You got him. You good?
Yeah, I mean, this damn Andre Miller was tough too.
Denver Nuggets. Andre Miller.
Everybody was forgetting. Like, oh, remember that guy? Yeah, they killed too. They put in work. But I'll leave in English. Dennis, you go Denver next, and then we wrap up Denver with Hendo.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to me because we're in concert with 3. Obviously, Melo, Mutombo. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was, he was the early version of pull up off the dribble before people was pulling it up off the dribble. People was standing in the corners ready to shoot. So, guys, it's easy to just catch it.
Yeah.
Like this. That's easy. When you try to shake a guy off and then when you're leaning one way, that's what Mahmoud was doing.
Yeah.
He was giving Jordan 30. He was giving Michael V. Jordan 30.
Bro,
okay.
He gave John Stockton nightmares. He gave him 51.
He deserved to. On top, he deserved to. He basically did. He said, "We're gonna do this for Isaiah, like the Cold Crush, bro. We're gonna make it up for what happened to Isaiah Thomas." That's what he said.
Yeah, and he was the predecessor before the Trays and the Stephen Currys. Like he was, like Phil Jackson said before, like he was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. He
was the blueprint. So Melo, Mutombo, Mahmoud, Chauncey, Big Shot Billups.
Okay.
And the Joker at my 5.
I want Mutombo and Jokic. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go big. Sometimes I go big, sometimes I go small, depending on the teams and what I have at my disposal. That's why I love this. Depending on what I have at my disposal, yeah, I'm gonna go throwback '90s era. I'm gonna put two centers out there. You know what I mean? See, and here's the rub. Hendo, here's the rub. Joker, he's a brilliant passer. So, he's not traditionally a 4, and he can shoot threes. God bless you, Dikembe. Work that center. Okay.
So to recap, Denny Blanco, Melo Mutombo, Rauf, Chauncey, and Joker. Me was Melo, Mahmoud, Mutombo, Joker, and Alex English. Hendo, you're up.
Oh, man, I'm going with the 2-time MVP, Jokic. We're going to have some fun because the thing is, I need guys that can score.
Right.
Because my coach is going to be the reason why that. So I'm going Alex English, David Thompson, Carmelo, and my point guard. Who can I put at point guard? Oh, Fat Lever. Let's not forget Fat Lever. Fat Lever, Mr. Triple himself.
Look up Fat Lever, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Lafayette Lever. Former Maverick.
Lafayette Lever.
Yeah. Former Maverick great. Fat Lever, too, by the way.
Hendo's on it. Ooh, Randy, Hendo's on it tonight.
And that's
tell me all that triple-double stuff. Mahmoud, Chris Jackson is the point guard
for
my Nugget roster.
Hey, it's nightmares. I like it.
Fat Lever's the problem. He was a problem.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I recall him more as a Maverick for some reason, but. And who's your honorable mention, Hendo, for the Nuggets?
It would definitely be Mutombo. We grew up around that. If it wasn't going to be him, I would have put like LaFonso Ellis, somebody like that. Because we grew up in that '90s Nuggets scene that upset, that Seattle team. So it's definitely Mutombo, man. I don't reason why I didn't put Mutombo because I wanted to go small as I put Jokic out there, and I'm just looking at it. Man, I got some scores out there. Everybody in the starting five at least 1 point time had average 35 a game.
Denny Blanco, honorable mention for the Nuggets.
For the Nuggets, yeah. I'm gonna go Allen Iverson. Honorable mention is my man AI. I thought he got done dirty up in Denver. He wasn't allowed to flourish like he should have. But yeah, honorable mention for me is AI in Denver.
Honorable mention for me for the Nuggets would be. Oh shit. No, I put AI on the wrong thing. English. I go Pack. I think Robert Pack was a very, very solid, underrated player for the Nuggets in that time frame when they beat Seattle, and also '95 in the conference semis against Utah. So that's the Nugget team I recall the most. That navy and the brown, maroon, beige uniforms, dope. If it ain't Robert Pack, probably Jalen Rose, but I'll go Robert Pack.
You know what? I don't know if can I change my honorable mention?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Mutombo. Let's not get this twisted. Matter of fact, I got his jersey back there somewhere. Love Mutombo. But I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, man. Kiki Vandeweghe has to be on there. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
Okay.
We have probably never seen in any lifetime outside of Kobe and Shaq where there was two guys on one team that had averaged at least 28 or 29 a game. Alex English and Kiki Vandeweghe were on the same team in 82, 83, if I'm not mistaken. It was one of those years, and they both averaged over 28 a game in the season.
He makes a very, 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 very interesting point.
Hey, man, Kiki with the mid-range, like, he's probably one of the most forgotten players. I mean, he's a 4-time All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. Dude's a career 19, 4-4. Like, man, Kiki is a different kind of dude, man. And
I'm checking Mr. Vandeweghe right now. 2-time All-Star.
2-time, okay.
And while in Denver for 4 years, he averaged 12, 22, 27, 29.
Yeah.
In Denver.
Yeah, dog. Averaging 29, dog. And I'm sure that same year when he averaged 29, Alex English, who was the all-time leading scorer in the 80s, averaged at least 28. Or 29 as well.
So that was 83, 84 for Vandeweghe. Let me see Alex English in the same year.
He was putting the buckets. And
that may be, as far as a duo, not naming Shaq and Kobe, that may be the highest scoring average ever between the two dudes.
26 a game.
28 and 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was throwing some
And while in Denver, English 24, 25, 28,
Jesus.
26, 28,
Tell me how.
30, 29, 25, 27, and Denny Blanco don't have him on the roster.
Wow.
Damn.
You know you're on Twitter, so I'm gonna make sure when you post the clip, I'm gonna tag him in it.
Because he put Chauncey. He put Chauncey up there.
Oh, well,
I can't knock him.
It's
can't knock him putting Big Shot on there.
See how y'all do me dirty.
And then the honorable mentions is AI. It's not even English.
AI probably gave him like 2 good years, right? Maybe 3. Oh man, you could have put J.R. Smith before you put AI.
Yo, hey, damn, you know, JR was tough.
Just saying.
Nah, I'm not putting JR up there. The shout out to Kiki and Alex English. All right, maybe my Denver team gets cracked. All right, God bless.
Nah, JR could be a nice honorable mention though. I ain't gonna lie, JR was doing work in Denver.
Yeah,
he was doing work. Coach Hendo, Denver.
Oh man, so I told y'all scoring is my thing for this team, and I got to go with the none other Doug Moe. Doug Moe probably didn't coach a lick of defense, but if you look at that, if I'm not mistaken, the Denver Nuggets of that 83 year that you've been talking about, they still have the all-time lead. If I'm not mistaken, you can fact check that. They're, I think, points per game still number 1 all time, or at least in the top 3 all time. Doug Moe didn't coach a lick of defense once again, but I think defense is an effort deal. And to me, when I got dudes out there, they can average 29, 28, 30. And I got Jokic out there with a guy, with Fat Lever, man, they can make plays, man. I love my chances on offense to beat you offensively. So I'm going with Doug Moe.
Denny Blanco.
Very interesting. I'm going to go with George Karl. George Karl, took Seattle. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, George Karl probably had some rings from Seattle. Supersonics. But in Denver.
If it wasn't for Denver in 94. Remember that.
Yeah, Dan Issel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He could have been on their starting 5 too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dan Issel for Denver. Exactly. So my pick is George Karl. What about you, Randy?
I probably go Karl too. I think Denver has had is. I know they went to the conference finals in the bubble, but I think the Nuggets have had their most successful run when Karl was coaching in the Carmelo era. So I'll go with George Karl with that.
What's your favorite Denver uniform?
The Dikembe upset city when they upset Seattle. That's my favorite.
Oh, you like that one? Okay.
You mean the colorful city one?
Yep, the colorful city one with the blue.
Were they in that one, or were they in the dark?
Oh no, you know what? No,
they were Navy.
Denver Nuggets drawn.
So you like the Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English City color rainbow one?
The one they won in the Seattle series when they upset it. Those, that's my favorite colorway. I mean the powder blues and
I like the navy with the brown and the beige.
Yeah,
that joint. So Denny Blanco, the final round goes to you. Detroit, you're up first. This could be interesting. Detroit Pistons.
There's like 2 definites. I hope.
I
hope we don't have to go through that one.
Diet. Give me Chauncey. Give me look at those face.
He's like, yo, how you start off with Chauncey? Like the whole franchise, you start off with Chauncey.
I'm fucking with y'all.
And you got Chauncey on Denver too. Come on.
No, I Hendo almost blew a casket.
Wow.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yes.
I think
Wallace,
Isaiah's on there.
We're gonna put Wallace at my. We're gonna put Wallace Ben Wallace at my 5.
Yeah.
Okay, for Detroit.
Okay.
We're gonna do Grant Hill at my 3.
Was that your definite, Hendo? Grant Hill?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isaiah Grant Hill. Grant Hill. Ben Wallace.
Got that.
Got that. We'll do Rosh.
Rasheed Wallace.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm missing one, right?
Yes, sir.
You are definitely missing one.
Detroit.
Think about Detroit.
I mean, you know, you know what? I know I'm missing one. Let me go with.
I think Hendo was saying think like 80s
No, I want to.
Detroit.
I do. I could. I know Hender's probably going to pick the same person, so I'll pick. I mean, I'm going a different route here, just off Rip Hamilton.
Oh,
Okay. Can't get mad at that. You got all right, so you got Isaiah, Rip, Grant Hill, Rashid, and Ben Wallace.
Hold that. Hold
All right.
that. Honor it.
Hendo, you want to go next?
2 on it.
yeah. This is gonna be easy. Obviously, we putting that point guard. We putting Zeke. Everybody knows Zeke is Isaiah Thomas.
Mhm.
At the shooting guard, the Finals MVP in the '80s, Joe Dumars. ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
At the 3, of course, man. Look, this dude was a problem on this. Y'all know me. Y'all remember this one, right?
Yeah.
He was a problem on there. Grant Hill. Grant Hill is definitely my 3. At the 4, man, I love Rashid. God, I love Rashid. But you know what I'm gonna do? I want Dennis Rodman at the 4.
Facts.
Dennis Rodman just, man, defensively, the work that I could do with him and Joe Dumars, it'll save a lot of trouble. And at the 5, you know what? I'm gonna go Ben Wallace. I think that Ben Wallace is, he's definitely a multi-time defensive player of the year. He can bring a little, like, that's a tough team, man. That's a bunch of dogs on that team. But yeah, I'm definitely going. So I got Ben at the 5, the Worm at the 4, Grant Hill at the 3, Joe at the 2, Zeke at the 1.
All right, I got Isaiah. I got Cade Cunning. No, I'm fucking with you.
Give me about 5 more years.
Yeah, 5 more years, Cade. I'm picking Rodman for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, but Joe Dumars. Do I really want to pick Joe Dumars? Cause I like the Rip Hamilton joint. I like the Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, Rip is a tough one because he can do more. He can score.
And like the king of the mid range. Rip ain't doing no threes. He's like 15, 18-foot corner.
We gotta look up Joe Dumars' offensive numbers because I find it weird he was making all-star teams without Zeke. How was he making those all-star teams? Team wasn't that good.
Joe Dumars.
Joe, I don't remember Joe scoring a lot. I remember him scoring at the right times for sure.
A 6-time All-Star.
Yeah. Dude was put on some,
in those All-Star years, 18, 20, 20, 24, 18 and 15.
I'm pretty sure Rip Hamilton's never averaged 24 a game.
No, you're right. I think 24. Yeah, I think that was. I guess that's his career high season. 24.
And Joe Dumars, it's the offense and defense that he gives you. So
at the height too. At that height,
Rip Hamilton, three-time All-Star. While in Detroit, 20, 18, 19, 20, 20, 17, 18, and 18.
Yeah,
This is Rip. This is Rip we're talking about, right?
Yeah, Rip Hamilton.
Rip's a problem.
Yeah, well, again.
But Joe Dumars got that MVP to finals.
Against what team?
The Lakers or Portland, right? Portland?
I think it was. No, they beat Portland. Maybe it was Portland. I think it was Portland. It was Portland.
Yeah.
It was Portland. I'm looking now.
Yeah, we'll confirm that because again, it also too you have to understand who he's playing against, when he's playing against them, what the competition was, etc. But obviously, let's be clear that the Detroit teams, a lot of Detroit teams had to go against teams that were loaded. Whether you're talking about the Isaiah teams or you're talking about the Chauncey and
ripping them.
That was the Lakers, actually. You got the finals.
Yeah, 89.
Wow.
MVP against one of the greatest teams of all time in the Lakers. One of the many greatest teams of all time.
And by the way, Joe Dumars in that series, I want y'all to take a guess of how much he averaged per game in that series. Just a guess.
16.
Wow. Okay.
Is that like too high or too low for Joe?
That is way too low.
Too low. It's too low.
24.
Joe, according to this, look, I'm just looking at it. Joe Dumars averaged 27 a game.
I can see that. In four games against the Lakers, right? Basically,
Yes,
you talking about that series. You talking about that series? Yeah,
Yeah, Joe
I can
Dumars
see
was
that.
nuts in that series.
I can see that. At 6'1", shooting over Magic, shooting over Kareem, shooting over Worthy, shooting
And
over
yeah.
and one of the best defenders in probably of all time, Michael Cooper.
Mhm.
shooting over Michael Cooper. Okay, guys,
Shit, I might go Zeke, Joe
here
Dumars.
we go. Here it is.
I'm picking Grant Hill. I'm throwing Rip,
Mm-hmm.
and I go Rodman.
You going
Because
small?
as much as I know what Ben Wallace and the accolades and the Hall of Fame stuff, it wasn't like one of my favorite players to watch. If you understand what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm
Just
saying?
another,
Like,
not calling him a jag, but he was just another guy that did something really well. Yeah,
I mean, he meant a lot to the teams, but it's like for me to watch Detroit, I'm watching G Hill and Isaiah, Rip Hamilton gonna run around the whole court, the whole fucking 48 minutes, and he was hard to guard, bro.
yeah.
He was hard to guard.
He was basically doing what Steph's doing now.
Yeah.
So, but basically, guys, Rip Hamilton was doing what Steph is doing. See, Steph is doing. Rip was only staying in the mid range, doing exactly what Steph is doing, but Steph is doing it
Yeah.
30
Rip,
feet out.
Rip was doing what Reggie was doing, except Rip wasn't going to the fucking 3-point line.
There you go. It all comes full circle, baby. It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
All right. Denny Blanco, honorable mention Detroit Pistons before we head out.
I should say Melo because he should be a Detroit Piston, but that's
boy.
neither here nor there.
Big Darko?
Yeah, Darko Milicic.
He can make up for his mistake, that, for his honorable mention.
Yeah, man, listen. Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
I can. Joe Dumars is my honorable mention. Joe Dumars will be there as my honorable mention. Former MVP. Yes.
Joe Dumars. I'll go Chauncey. I go Chauncey.
Yeah,
Big shot Bob.
Man, I love Chauncey. I love Tayshaun. But I mean, I gotta, like I said, I'm all about showing the old school love.
Show it to us. Who we talking?
When we talking Detroit, not only we talking Detroit basketball, we talking about the mayor at one time of Detroit. 7-time All-Star for the Detroit Pistons. Dave Bing.
Mr. Bing. Yes.
I'm gonna show some love to the old school. Now, if I could just pick off somebody I seen play,
mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I probably go. I love Rip. I love Chauncey. But I like Tayshaun, man. Tayshaun's a glue guy, and not every team. Look, they probably don't have a championship if it wasn't for that block.
They don't have a championship. They don't have a championship.
What he did against God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant in that finals. Kobe did what he was supposed to. Kobe still getting this 25-30, whatever, but it wasn't an easy 25-30.
Mm.
And Tayshaun is probably one of the more unsung heroes of like one of those teams, man. So, but yeah, Rip was a dog. It reminds me of how great he was.
Mm.
Man, it reminds me how great he was. And I wish Allen Houston, who was on Detroit, would have played there a little bit longer. Show him some love too.
Right.
You need a glue guy or a guy who's not all the way there to make a champion.
Well, I already got two nutcases on my team, man. Like if I go Rodman and Ben, that's a fight waiting to happen.
Ultimate wrestling. Yeah, it's literally a WWE night. Let's get it on. Ding ding.
There's no love for Andre Drummond on here.
Crickets.
Man,
crickets.
You might as well put Josh Smith then. If you're
the 2-time All-Star, average 15 rebounds a game.
Crickets, bro.
Damn, son.
Crickets.
I'm trying.
There's no room on this list.
I mean, Bill Laimbeer is another guy that probably could have got mentioned, right? I mean,
honorable.
We may not particularly care for him in certain basketball life, but I mean, Bill Laimbeer, you got Rick Mahorn.
Mm-hmm.
People have to understand.
The 90s were rough because, I mean, Isaiah got the Achilles. Joe Dumars sort of, and Grant Hill was sort of that guy because, like, man, the 90s.
Yeah.
Hendo, here's what's interesting. A lot of people look at the guys like Laimbeer and Mahorn. People have to understand the reason why Zeke and Joe Dumars got open because there was screens set. And those people that were setting screens were usually Laimbeer or Mahorn.
And we talk about the stretch 5 or the stretch big. I had to do some deep diving. Bill Laimbeer shot a lot of jumpers.
He absolutely did.
A lot of people don't give him credit for that. So
Mm.
shout out to Bill Laimbeer. Not shout out for the way he played on the court. Shout out to Bill Laimbeer.
Yes, exactly.
All right, coaches. Denny Blanco, Detroit.
We're gonna go with the one and the only Larry Brown.
Okay.
Stubborn as he is, it's not too many coaches that can say they won on every level.
Hendo, Detroit, coach.
Man, I look for all the knuckleheads that I put in the 5. I gotta get a nice suit and tie out of there. You know who I gotta go with, man. Mr. Dream Team himself.
That's
Chuck
right.
Daly. Chuck Daly, man.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
Chuck
man.
Daly's a good pick. Chuck Daly is an absolute great pick.
I'll go with Chuck Daly as well. I think I might put Rip to the honorable mention and put Chauncey in the starting 5. I mean, you can't really go wrong, but Chauncey was just so clutch for Detroit. So
they may be the most undersized team ever. Think about it, because in any variation, Dennis Rodman is like 6'8" and Ben Wallace is like 6'8". Never, I think we both had them on our. Well, you didn't, but I think we didn't even have a single guy at least 6'10" in these teams. And then their guards, Joe Dumars probably being 6'2", Zeke maybe 6 foot, Chauncey's like 6'3", 6'2".
Yep.
Wow, small. Grant Hill will be the second tallest person on the team.
And like I tell people all the time, I think when it comes to championships, I think Detroit's 04 and the Mavericks 11 are the ones that shock people the most. And again, Lakers, Detroit, everybody in the world gonna pick the Lakers, but Detroit shocks them. Dallas and the Heat, everybody gonna pick Miami, but Dallas shocks the world and beats the Heat. And I think those are the two most underrated championships in the last 15 plus years, because it's not your flashy, it's not your mega highlights kind of a team to get a championship, but it's like when you boil it down to defense and hard nose, those teams won the fucking title. So everybody gonna talk about Miami and San Antonio and Boston, whatever, but I think that Mavericks and Detroit 04 and 11 does not get talked about enough.
If they matched up, who wins that series?
Okay, before we wrap up, let's do it. You got Chauncey against J Kidd.
I give Chauncey the edge at that point.
You have Rip Hamilton against what? Jay Terry? Two guard?
It'd be if you go out starting 5, it'll be Deshaun Stevenson. So you get up to
Deshaun Stevenson.
So you going to Deshaun, or you giving it to Rip?
Oh, it's Rip. Yeah.
Okay.
They got the guards on lock, yeah.
And your 3 was what? Sean Marion?
Yeah, and Tayshaun.
And Tayshaun Prince.
I'll probably go Sean Marion.
You don't look too confident about that.
Well, no, because my thing is this. If you pulled up both of their resumes, I would say Sean Marion's probably at the better. Like Sean Marion in most people's cases, and I've heard you say this, may actually have a Hall of Fame resume that nobody really talks about. And Sean Marion is, to me, when you talk about defensive, I know we talked about the Tayshaun thing, but Sean Marion's defense on probably arguably the second greatest player of all time.
Right.
What he did is unreal.
And you got Dirk and Rasheed Wallace.
I think I'm going Dirk. I've seen Dirk play against Rasheed enough, even when he was in Portland. Dirk, I mean, you go Dirk.
And then it comes down to Ben Wallace and Tyson Chandler.
Oh, I'm going Ben. I mean, I love Tyson. But yeah. Yeah.
Yo, that's a dead even 7-game series, bro. Facts.
Yeah, I do think the one thing that's going to be interesting is
the bench,
coaching, that and the coaching, because you're going to probably take, if you're taking ironically, this is where the advantage could go Dallas. Who coached Detroit before Larry Brown got there the year before?
Rick Carlisle.
There you go. Who would know?
Like I said, it's dead even, bro. It's dead even.
I like it.
It's dead even. The bench might go to the Mavericks, if I'm not mistaken. Like Detroit had Lindsey Hunter. They had Mike James, Chucky Atkins.
Yeah, Dallas is probably gonna win that bench.
Probably Dallas.
Yeah, because you throw in Jason Terry,
Caron Butler.
And by the way, Caron Butler's in that starting 5 at the 2 if he doesn't tear his Achilles.
Yes.
Remember they didn't have him for the finals. So
True.
So think about that. That team,
Barea on the roster, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm taking Chucky. Love Chucky out there. I don't know if I'm living on Chucky. I'm not. I don't know. I want to say Corliss Williamson may have been on that team.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah,
Big nasty.
Yeah, I think the Mavs had Pager.
The Mavs did have Pager.
They had Pagers. They had a lot of guys on that bench, man.
That bench was loaded.
All right, real quick. Mavericks in 2011. Barea, Corey Brewer, Butler, Brian Cardinal, Chandler, Brendan Haywood,
Wow.
J Kidd, Ian Mahimi, Matrix, Steve Novak, Dirk, Sasha Pavlovich, Deshaun, Pager, and Jason Terry.
Yeah.
Loaded with talent.
Yeah, Detroit.
And then you had the 04 Pistons. Chucky Atkins, Billups, Eldon Campbell, Hubert Davis, wow. Darvin Ham, Rip Hamilton, Lindsey Hunter, Mike James, Darko, Mehmet Okur, Tayshaun, Bob Sura, Ben Wallace, Rasheed, and Corliss Williamson.
Bob Sura was on that team. Wow, talk about a favorite 90s player for everybody. Bob Sura is probably one of the more favorite guys to the 90s ever.
Bob Sura. Wow.
Bob Sura, throwback.
Well, I think the Mavericks win that series in 7, bro.
In 6.
In 6?
I got him at 7. I think that when it comes down to who's the best player on the floor, I think if you ranked them, Dirk will probably be the best player on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I think you could argue Chauncey, certain guys, but I wonder, Dirk is the best player on the floor.
Dirk is the best player on the floor.
So we wrapped up part 3, Mavericks, Denver, and Detroit with my boy Chris Henderson. We got part 4 coming up in about a week or 2 with our boy Trayvon Edwards from the Athletic. That'll go down with the Warriors, Rockets, and the Indiana Pacers, which could be very interesting. If you want to give us a little preview real quick, Hendo, who would you pick for each of those teams? And then we out of here.
All right, so who's the first team again?
The Warriors.
Nothing positionless, right?
Yes.
Will Chamberlain, Rick Barry, KD, Clay, Steph.
Okay.
I know I missed somebody. And
You didn't miss nobody. He was just right off the top.
Yeah.
The Rockets.
Akeem Olajuwon, James Harden.
I missed that James Harden so much.
I'm gonna go 2 bigs on this. I'm gonna put Moses Malone.
Okay.
You want MVP with them, so you got Moses, James. That's the MVP. Trace McGrady. And man, I'm gonna go.
Hold on, Moses won the MVP with Houston or Philly?
He won 2 with Philly and 1 with Houston, I think.
Okay.
I think he won 1 with Houston. You may want to fact check that. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, Moses, I'm pretty sure that, and I need 1 more for Houston. I'm gonna go.
You got Olajuwon, Moses, T-Mac, and Harden.
Coutinho Mobley.
Oh man,
Steve Francis.
Steve Franchise, man. Man, I forgot about Steve Franchise. You know what?
See, and that's why we do it, Hendo, because we forget about a lot of people, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta pick somebody.
Man. You know what, man? I'm gonna go with the cat, man. I love Steve Francis. He's probably one of my favorites all time. But that lefty, man, cat, the ageless wonder, man.
Facts.
Coutinho out there right now with the gray hair, man, dropping 30 on everybody right now still. So I'm gonna go with. I know I'm missing somebody. I could have probably went. What's my guy that does the Calvin Murphy? Somebody like that. Ralph Sampson. I could have went with 3 bigs on that team. Oh no, you know what? I take that back. I'm going. This is an unconventional 5. I'm gonna go Yao Ming.
That's what I was gonna say. 3 bigs. Go 3 bigs.
Yeah.
Forgot about Yao.
Yeah, go 3 bigs.
And Indiana.
Reggie Miller, Paul George, Mel Daniels.
No Rick Smith, no Davis brothers, no Jalen Rose, no
Jermaine O'Neal.
That's 4. And no number 5, man, you know what? Because I think he had I know I'm hype beasting this. This is a personal favorite.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Rifleman, Chuck Person.
I love me the Rifleman. I love me some Riflemen, baby.
I could have went a different route. I probably could have went Deadlift Shrimp, who was a 6th man of the year, I think, with them.
Denny Blanco. Didn't I pick the Rifleman?
Yeah, the Rifleman. Yeah.
Hey, if you play Bull versus Blazers, you know he had the special dunk. Where
Ratchet.
Yeah,
the Ratchet. Hey, Danny Granger is another one too. So is
most underrated. Sure.
Yes, Mark Jackson.
But I do have a hot take. I say Paul, and I know people love Reggie Miller, and I think Reggie's all-time great. But Paul George is probably the best pacer that touched the floor from everything that not from the career part, but if you took a player and whoever was the best make of a player, it was definitely Paul George.
No, talent-wise, it's Paul George.
Yeah. And Paul George actually, if LeBron didn't exist, Paul George would have,
No.
Oh, you got Denny started, man. You got Denny started.
Ron Artest.
I forgot about Ron. Ron.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah, Stack, but Jermaine O'Neal, dude. I think we all had a discussion one day. I think in one of the previous times I was on the show, we talked about Jermaine O'Neal. When we talk about that power forward era in that 2000s, man, that was nuts.
Ron Artest was the only Indiana player to ever be literally considered at one point MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
And you know what? I'm sorry about that. I remember I had Clay on there. And the only reason why I had Clay on there because of what he has done. You got to put the Splash Brothers together. But if I'm being truthful, I would probably take Chris Mullin over Clay.
And that's fine.
You forgot Mullin. You forgot Richmond, Tim Hardaway, Spreewell,
Bees like that.
Oh, yeah. If you see, the problem is this, man. I don't want to get caught on video not showing OG's respect. So
I hear you.
Look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I probably wouldn't have put Wilt on there. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I would have went a different route. But because of Wilt, what he did and how great he is, you got to put him on there. And look, I know people don't want to put KD on there, but I'm gonna tell y'all this right now: they don't win them 2 championships without KD.
Period.
End of story.
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna end this podcast. Without KD, the Warriors don't win back-to-back years. Chris Henderson, always a pleasure, man. We love you. Continue doing the great work that you do. Hendo.com. I know you're at every Mavericks home game doing the great work that you do. Follow my man on Twitter at C_Hendo. Follow Denny Blanco at Sir Denny Blanco on both IG and Twitter. Myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ. Find the podcast on the platforms such as SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on ballislife.com, as well as youtube.com/ballislife podcast network. That's a wrap for Retro Room All-Time 5's Part 3 with the Mavericks, Nuggets, and the Pistons. Chris Henderson, Denny Blanco, my man. Thank you. Always appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
One.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be sure to subscribe to my fellas, man. Y'all see what they doing out here. They give me y'all that work.
My man, thank you. Appreciate that. Big time.